KPsKINGDOM, cooking with KP, and today I'm going to show you a really interesting recipe. It's a mushroom, feta cheese and caramelised onion tart, and it is an absolute failure. Okay, not only on my part, there's a little bit of blame for me, but I'm also going to show you that, look, a YouTube recipe is one thing where we'll actually show you how the thing works out properly, and there's a little bit of a difference between reading a recipe in a book and or a magazine in this case, and getting it wrong. But my first mistake was trusting this magazine recipe. I like the idea of it, but we're soon going to find out together as to how this does not always go to plan. Alright, let's go with our recipe. It asks for a little bit of butter. It's around about 50 grams worth of butter, and a white onion finely sliced. I'm going to use my little mandolin here, and we'll get some really nice thin slices of onion. Alright, I'm using a brown onion. A little bit of salt goes in on top, and we're starting to it actually says put everything in and then start cooking, which is not really the way that I would do it, but I'm following the recipe and that awesome photo in the magazine. A little bit of white wine that can go in. Use the white wine of your choice. I prefer a Chardonnay, and we're going to give those all a bit of a stir through. Now we're just going to cook these off until they go really nice and soft, and we're going to let them keep going until they caramelize. So just keep moving those through, get them all mixed up, okay? And we're going to end up with a really nice onion mixture like that, and a nice dry pan. We've got rid of all that liquid and all that butter. The onions have absorbed everything that we need. Alright, we're going to put those aside. It also says to put about another sort of 20 to 25 grams worth of butter into your fry pan, and around about, I'm trying to remember perfectly, but around about 200 to 300 grams worth of mushrooms. I'm just going to season that up with a little bit of dill because I like the flavour on that. Freshly ground black pepper. It does not say what herbs to use. I just like to add a little bit to a recipe every now and then for a little bit of extra flavour. Freshly ground pink Himalayan rock salt. You don't have to use that, you can just use the salt of your choice, and we're going to stir these onions through that butter and cook those down. Okay, now it says to add everything into a bowl like that. Okay, pretty simple so far, and we've already preheating our oven. We've got around about off the top of my head, we've got around about 150 to 160 grams worth of feta cheese, and it says to use a crumbled feta cheese. That crumb stuff costs a fortune in the store. Put it in your little food processor, and you can just add what you need into your recipe. Alright, I'll crumb the whole packet or the whole container of that, because I'm going to use the rest of that feta cheese in another recipe. Now, this is to get some store-bought short crust pastry and put that into a little rectangular baking tin. I don't have one of those, so I thought one of my Corningware dishes would actually do the job. So I'm going to line that with a little bit of baking paper. It's a little bit of a trick that I have learnt. It's just going to stop everything getting stuck, and it's going to make getting this tart out a little bit easier. Right, a little bit more of our baking paper, and we're going to line that pastry just like that. And this is what this recipe is telling me to do. And I would rather show you how this is a failure rather than one of my stupid recipes that is an absolute success. Baking beans on top of that paper into the oven, 180 degrees, maybe 190, and we're going to leave that for around about 10 minutes or so. Let's get back to our filling. It says to use up around about 200 grams worth of ricotta cheese. That can go in. I'm also going to add in around about a third of a cup of finely grated pecorino or Parmesan cheese. You can use either one, it's up to you. Mix all of that through, just like we are doing right there. Nice and simple so far. And all these ingredients should work. Now, we've done our first blind bake. We're going to take those beans out, and immediately one of the dramas that I saw was that the pastry has not quite blind baked properly yet. Once again, following the instructions on the recipe, and we'll get rid of those beans. We're going to have to shore up and fix that pastry up a little bit. It's just not quite doing its job. Usually when I have a failure in a recipe, it's because of my MS. This time, no, my MS was doing okay. I didn't get burnt or anything like that. I'll just have to modify this pastry so it will work. Maybe I should have had one of those pans. Obviously going to go out and spend the $40 or so for that pan for one dish. Right, that's going to go back into the oven until we get a little bit of crispage happening. We've got a little bit more of that crispage happening. It looks like everything is sort of set, and now I can add in our filling. So just add your filling into the pastry like that, and what we are going to do is we're going to go and put that back into the oven until everything goes nice and golden brown on top. It's going to take you probably about another 10 to 12 minutes. Just keep an eye on it, and when you think it's done, it should be done. Alright, cut it up, serve it up, a little bit of salad. Look, it didn't turn out the way it should. It didn't turn out the way it did in the magazine, but I'll tell you what, it tasted really, really nice. Alright, thank you so much for watching this video and putting up with a failure that wasn't completely my fault. If you like this video, hit that like button. It gives me confidence, should make you feel warm and fuzzy too. Hit that notification bell to be notified every time a new video goes up. Please leave a comment. I love reading and I love responding to them. And don't forget to share this video with all your friends on all platforms of social media. If you want to learn how sometimes a recipe fails, well, you need to come and join the family, my family. Hit that subscribe button and you'll never miss another one of my videos again. I have eaten this and it did taste really good, even though it sort of looks like it fell apart. Anyway, I will catch you next time. Bye.